So I think this is its last line on the mowing, which the yard's not even down here, so it'll only come partial way where it meets up with the other line because it's fatter on this end. Yeah. Okay, so that was the end of that line. Now I'm not sure if it's going to mow a perimeter. Yep, here it goes. It's going to mow a perimeter lap. Look at that. Okay. Staying pretty straight. I mean, it's wanting to drag it downhill, but it looks like it's kind of counter steering to keep it level. Oh, it's seeing all that stuff blowing probably. Interesting. Oh, bold choice, okay. I thought it was going to go out in the road. Bonk. See if it slides down this hill or what. I'd be surprised if it caught that little patch of grass over there. I think it's trying to, well, that's pretty impressive because I mean that's a steep lip right there. See if it's able to get back up there. Okay. Okay. Perimeter lap around here. There you go. Straighten it out, buddy. One wheel on. I like it. That's virtually exactly what I did with the mapping. I like that. So it's going to picture frame it basically and make a one, I guess one full lap around. I don't know if it does multiple or what, but actually. Shoot, I don't have to freaking trim it all here. So around obstacles I will, but it looks like I'm probably going to be okay on this deal. I think it tells you to stay 6 inches away from borders, but I just rode them over, and it's not like any sensitive flowers or anything I'm worried about it getting in there. So here's kind of interesting because it's got the bricks that stick up around the outside, which my plan is to get rid of that crap anyway. Don't run over my face. No, he dodged him. Yeah, get in there. That's pretty friggin' thick right there. It would be cool if it did another perimeter lap the opposite direction and sort of hit the grass from a different angle. But it's cutting it. I mean, is it going to go home? I think it is. Oh no, this is just the edge. This is the edge of the. This is how I drew the map. So diagonal towards from home base towards the fence. That way is area 1, and then this way is area 2. So it's just tracing this task area border. And it should pretty much line up from this fence and shoot straight down towards that pole. Need a stick there. Stick it over my neighbor's yard there. There we go. So the question is, when it gets back to that original spot where it started mowing the perimeter, is it going to do another lap or go home? I did change it to where when it goes home, instead of the, let me say, originally it made a beeline towards the from wherever it stopped, wherever it was in the yard. If it needed to charge or whatever, it would just go straight beeline to the charger. And I changed that to make it go around the perimeter first. And that would be bad if it fell down that hole, but it didn't. But anyway, yeah, it's on perimeter. Do a perimeter lap to get home. Yeah, I'm happy to see this. I don't have to weed eat all this stuff. I just have to do pretty much that. I think that's gonna be it. The backyard doesn't have any obstacles. I've removed 26 trees from in the property since we moved in. So, yeah, now look, that's actually wider. So this is a second perimeter lap. It's running a little deeper than it was on the first one. So I thought I had 3 lines on there. It may have one more, which may be a little too much, honestly. This should be all it needs. Yeah, we're past that spot where it started last time, so I think it's going to do a full another lap. Let's see what it does on the mailbox this time. Oh, where's it going? Oh, it drove around this big freaking clump of hickory leaf. That's funny. Looks like about the same thing it did the first time. Nope. Maybe a little tighter. Nope. Nope. It actually is, yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Definitely. Yeah, it's not going to do that little patch over there, so I'll have to hit that. And that looks pretty similar to what was doing that first lap. Well, actually it's more inside than it was, so maybe that was supposed to be the farthest out lap that it did first, because this is actually more inside. The wheel is just on the edge of the driveway instead of hanging off it. Let's see if it does the same thing here. I think so. Yep. 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 So, if it is going to do 3 laps, then I guess the next one will be one more level in, which is good because the first one was pretty deep out there. You alright, buddy? feel free to fast forward this because, well, I'm gonna see if it goes home into its charging pad after this, or if it makes one more lap. I think it's gonna do 3 because I think I remember seeing 3 lines on there. New grass coming up. Gather. There you go, mower. Eat that. Oops. Didn't really work. Just. Oh shoot. Put it over far enough. Just ran over it. Whoa. Oh gosh. Yeah, it's gonna do a full 3rd lap. I'm gonna pause it and then I'll pick up here in just a second. Well, it won't be any time for you, but I'm gonna pause it and then catch it over here when it's about to dock and watch that. So just to check in, it is doing, one more level interior on this final perimeter lap, which is kind of cool. So looks like a full picture frame around the whole yard, and it should, if I'm remembering correctly, what the pattern looked like. I think it had 3 lines, so I believe this is the final perimeter run, and it'll go around here and then dock itself, which I think it had about 30% battery when I looked before it started all this perimeter stuff, so surely it'll make it. Now it's got 1 battery light left, so that means it's 25%. The lights are on top. It was at 2 when I stopped, when I paused the video earlier, so it's hit the 25% mark at some point. But I mean, I would imagine as long as it's got 10%, it's gonna make it around. I don't know when it actually how low it gets before it goes home though. I don't know if that's 5% or what it is. I imagine it wants some little safety buffer and not get down to 1% and get stuck somewhere and die. All right. So this charging base, you want it to be as level as possible. If it's facing downhill any, it can lose contact in the back there if gravity is pulling it down this way. But it's got these little rear wheel humps. It drives over like a little speed bump thing that sits in there and locks. But it's too downhill to overcome that. But anyway, let's see if it takes it to the house here. Come on, bro, that's enough perimeter. Oh, you know what? I bet it's got to make it to the front of the yard where it started up there. Yep, 3 complete laps will be down there at the bottom of the yard. Well, I'll pause one more time and I'll come back when the action starts. got to the corner and said task completed, start recharging. So I guess he's going to drive around the perimeter now like I told him to, and back to the charger. You can hear the blades have cut off now. It's finished mowing. It's just straight up driving now. It's more efficient, obviously, to just drive straight across the yard, but in the backyard I noticed, I could see like there were just all these stripes. It just drove one line straight across, not even perfectly diagonal, just a beeline. I was like, nah. So I think this should be better. I'll pause a second till it gets closer. He's creeping. Come on, buddy.
Start charging.
There it is.